What's up guys, Hang Up with the Fourth here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be giving my personal review of the PlayStation 5 from a PC gamer's perspective. And without any further ado, let's get right into it. So I just want to start out with the fact that every single time I've had a PlayStation 4, I've had multiple PlayStation 4s that I actually didn't end up enjoying, but I was just testing them out, trying to try out PlayStation when I was first getting into it. I've always enjoyed the setup of consoles. That's one thing that always surprises me. Every time I open up the box, it's literally just the PlayStation. You get the controller and you get like 3 cables. You get a controller cable, you get an HDMI cable, and the like power cable. That's it. And it's always like, it's not I don't say surprising is the word. It's just like, I guess it is. Like, I'm always taken aback by opening the box and just seeing all of it, because like I'm used to building computers. You spend hours putting everything together, and then you got like 8 USB cables you got to plug in, Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and then you press that button and you hope it works. But a PlayStation is just like, man, 3 cables and you're up and running. Also, the setup procedure is so simple. Like, usually all you need is like your phone. I don't have my phone on, actually I do. All you need is your phone and the PlayStation app, and you literally just download the PlayStation app, you sign into it on the app, and when you're setting it up, all you have to do on the PlayStation itself is type in like your Wi-Fi password. That's it. And then it shows a QR code. You scan the code on your phone, and that's it. It does everything else. It transfers all your saves and everything. Now, you do have to download the games, stuff like that, but I mean, the setup is so simple. It's so easy, and honestly, it's just refreshing to see. It's refreshing to see that you can just literally unbox it, open it up, and already be ready to download games and get started playing. Now, speaking of games, let's get into the gameplay. That's the main point. It's a PlayStation, it's a console. You get to play games for the most part. Now, I want to talk about the gameplay from 2 perspectives. I want to talk about it from a standalone perspective and as a companion to a PC, so you guys can kind of get my sides on both. If I were just to use the PlayStation by itself, and as I'm using it currently as a companion to my PC. So as far as standalone goes, when I first was using it, when I first got the PlayStation 5 and I held the controller is really awesome, by the way. I really like the feel of the controller. It's different from the PS4 controller. It took me a bit to get used to, but I ended up enjoying it for how I use it. As a standalone, I had downloaded Miles Morales and I was playing it. I really enjoyed Miles Morales. I beat it. It's a really small game, so it's not like anyone can't beat it. Beat it when I went home for Thanksgiving, and I literally didn't play the PlayStation 5 after that. And the reason why is because I had came back to my PC and I was like back into my old ways, playing Rocket League all the time and all that. And Rocket League is a big component of this review. I'll mention that later on, but I'll just get into it. I didn't really play it. I ended up actually taking back my PlayStation, and then weeks later I got another one, and I started to appreciate it more as I used it in a different way. But at first, as a standalone console, I wasn't really feeling it. The 60 FPS in Rocket League was a big a big dislike from me, and I really want to stress that, because Rocket League should be able to run at least 120 FPS on these consoles, and it can't. And that really irked me, because Rocket League is my favorite game. It's my favorite game. I played on PC alive, like 1,400 hours in it nearly. It's my favorite game. So for me to not be able to play Rocket League, it's not even that I can't play it. Like, people might think, oh, you can play it, like you can have fun. I can, if it wasn't for me being at the level that I am. Like, if I was just playing, silvers and golds and stuff like that at that rank, yeah, with the latency, I could do a little something. I could still enjoy myself. But I'm at the champ level. I'm obviously not trying to flex. I'm just being honest. I'm at the champ level, and it's very hard for me to play with the latency and at that level. It's like compounding difficulties, and it's so hard. So really, honestly, I hope that they add 120 FPS for that game in the future. But from what the news that I've seen, they're talking about how it's really difficult to do on the PlayStation. It's not as simple as it is on the Xbox. I don't know, but it is on the Xbox. You can play 120 FPS, and I've played it on the Xbox Series X, and it's fine. It's playable. It's definitely playable. But on the PlayStation, I just can't do it. I literally can't even have the game on my PlayStation, and that irked me at first. It was a big reason why I didn't keep the PlayStation at first. But let's go to the part where I'm mentioning as a companion to a PC. So when I started to think of it more as a companion to the PC, and I thought back to why I really got one in the first place, it was to play exclusives, right? It was to play Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, Infamous Second Son, all the PlayStation exclusives that, you know, people love. And it's my first PlayStation that I've had for extended period of time, so it's my first time getting into those exclusives. And recently I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima, and I've really enjoyed it, especially after I started mining on my computer. And I don't really use it as much during the day, and I don't want to like play games on it because I don't want to mess up the performance, the mining performance. So I use my PlayStation 5 for my gaming and stuff, and it's really awesome. I've started to love it more and more as I like just appreciate for what it is, right? That's usually what most people buy. Most PC gamers buy PlayStations for. We buy them for the exclusives, if you didn't know. And it's such a great experience playing all those games at 60 FPS, especially coming from the PS4 Pro. How I mentioned before how I had bought multiple PlayStation 4s and I didn't like them. It was because all the games were at 30 FPS and it was ridiculous. I was not feeling it. But now I can play those games at 60 FPS. They look good. Upscaled 4K on my 1440p monitor. Really awesome. There is no 1440p support natively for the PS5, which is kind of weird because I wanted to do 1440p 120 hertz. But I mean, that was one of the things that irked me originally, but then I started to get used to it. I'm like, well, if I'm playing only exclusives on it, only like 60 FPS games, does it really matter? And I get the upscaled 4K, so it's like, I'll take it, right? I'll take it. But I just know if I want to play any games at a higher frame rate, I gotta play them on the PC. It is what it is. And I'll take that. I'll take that hit. So that's like the two sides. As a standalone, I wasn't really feeling it. Honestly, I wouldn't personally play on a PlayStation by itself. That's just me. I won't say I guess you could say I'm a diehard PC gamer. I appreciate a lot of the perks that PC gaming has to offer, not only just on the gaming side, but also system side. So like I can do my homework, I can mine, I can watch YouTube, I can, you know, you can do all this, some of the stuff like YouTube, Netflix, stuff like that on the PS5, which I'll get into later. But editing videos, doing homework, just chilling, being on the keyboard, being able to play FPS games on the keyboard, high refresh rates, changing the settings, I can't leave that. I just can't. As a PC gamer, that's something that I can't leave. I'd rather literally, I tell people like, I could probably do it for the exclusives, but as far as playing like Rocket League and stuff, I'd honestly, like FPS games, I'd much rather play them on my phone. And I'm not joking. People might think I'm playing. I'm serious. If you know me, if you're an OG on my channel, you know I grew up playing phone games, and I could easily go back to playing phone games. Like I just can't do it. If I can't play on my keyboard, I can't do it. And a lot of FPS games on PlayStation don't have keyboard support, so it's a bummer. But hopefully they come in the future. Apex is planning on doing that, so that might get me back into it. At 60 FPS, it's kind of but with the keyboard support, it might help me enjoy it a bit more. Now let's get into game pricing. So coming from PC, I know there's a couple of YouTubers that I like watching. They were mentioning how like game pricing, it makes you a cheapskate on PC. Like once you start buying a bunch of games cheap, it makes you start acting like a cheapskate. That is so true. And seeing the game pricing on the PS5, I have the digital version, and seeing the game prices in the store, it makes me like so hesitant to buy games. Like I was bored and I was like, man, I want to get GTA on the PS5 just so I can have something to do outside of just playing like story driven games. I want to play something online, just chill and have fun. GTA 5 is $30 right now on the PlayStation Store. $30, man. That's a game you can easily go on like a key website and get it for under $10 on PC. It's ridiculous. Like that's an 8-year-old game. It's crazy. And that's not even the PS5 version, which is another reason why I was waiting on it. It's not a PS5 version. That's the PS4 version. So yeah. And you know, you got a lot of games that are on PC on sales right now that are still $60 on PlayStation. Even a lot of the older titles, they're still above, you know, $15, above $20. So I'm always hesitant to buy games on the PlayStation. I usually try to stick to strictly exclusives, but who knows, in the future I might give in and buy a couple games. I saw San Andreas was $15. I was like, oh my god, that's like a $3 game on PC. So the pricing is a bit high. I don't know about buying them physically. Maybe if you get them with a disc, it might be a bit better. But that I'm just speaking strictly from the store, because it's not some it's a sacrifice I'm willing to take, because I knew going into digital, I'm like, I'm not gonna get that many games. At least I thought I did before I started mining. I was like, I'm not gonna get that many games. I'm just gonna get exclusives, and I'm willing to pay $60 per exclusive if that is what it is. I'll take that, right? Even MLB The Show, I plan on getting that, and that's a $70 game. I've never paid $70 for a game in my life. So, you know, it is what it is. But I'll take that hit for what it is, man. I know maybe if I would have got a disc version, it could have been better, but it is what it is. And lastly, I want to get into, or one of the last points, is the media apps and everything being in one place. So as I mentioned before, on PC you can watch YouTube, you can watch Netflix and all that, But on the PlayStation, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the home screen or the way it's laid out, but it kind of encourages me to watch more Netflix, because I don't know, like on PC I'm just so used to games, YouTube, but like on the PlayStation I watch more Netflix. I chill and watch more Twitch streams, listen to Spotify. On the PlayStation you can do it all, but it's just nice to see everything being in one place. It's similar to PC in a way. And also, one of the points I wanted to touch on, I didn't go back to the gameplay. I talked about it a little bit, but 60 FPS being the norm is really, really important, and it's one of the best points about the PlayStation 5 that I'll give. One of my favorite points, 60 FPS being the target. Hopefully it's the target, because they're trying to do 4K too, but in any game I'm picking the performance mode over the resolution mode if it has one. 60 FPS being the target is perfect. It's when I first got the PlayStation back in November, it was a thing that I was telling people that if they were on console and they were like thinking about doing PC, or I was encouraging them to hop on PC, I would tell them like, yo, this is kind of the feel. It's a little bit of the feel that I have on PC. Like if you've played 60 FPS on the PlayStation 5 before or tested it, you wouldn't, and you've seen that experience. That's kind of what I'm getting at when I talk about how good PC is. It's a glimpse of it. It's a glimpse of it. I know you got your 144 FPS, your 300 in those CS:GO and Siege type games, but 60 FPS is the start. I like it. So I don't really have many dislikes to cap off this video. I don't really have many dislikes about the PlayStation 5 other than Rocket League. Really, 120 FPS support, that needs to be more widespread in a lot more games. Rocket League, Apex, I would like to see the controller support as fast as possible, and just widespread controller support across the board for more games, man. That would be awesome. But I'm enjoying the PlayStation 5 myself, and all you guys out there that are trying to get a PlayStation 5, I really hope you get one. I wish you guys the best of luck in trying to get one. It is a great console, especially as a companion to a PC, especially as a companion to a good PC. It is a great console. And that's my review. Honestly, if I had to grade it, I mean, honestly, I'd give it probably an 8 out of 10 or a high 8, low 9. They need to fix that Rocket League issue though, but I've come to the conclusion that I'm just gonna play it for the exclusives. So it is what it is. With that being said, if you're looking to get a PlayStation 5, some of the best places to get them is Best Buy does drops usually on Fridays. They actually just did one yesterday. You can try to get those. Target does it sometimes as well. Walmart drops, they'll usually announce them on their Twitter or something like that. So yeah, try to get you guys, I hope you guys try to go out there and get one. And yeah, I wish you guys best of luck, and I'll catch you guys later, man. I'm Henry Gobble the Fourth, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day or evening whenever you're watching this video. Peace.